take a look at our volume of a triangular prism. So we're going to be continuing in our idea as we work through all three major volume units. Our three major volumes we're going to find out, rectangular prism, triangular prism, and a pyramid shape. So let's go ahead and take a look at the volume of a triangular prism today. So we've got a same basic formula. I don't know if you noticed, we had length, width, height, but that doesn't really work with this formula because length and width aren't a measure for triangles. So again, what we're going to be thinking about, what I want you guys to be thinking about is if I take that triangle at the bottom, let me switch my colors real fast. If I take my triangle at the bottom, how many times can I stack that triangle on? That gives me the height. So I've got to find the area of the base and multiply it by how many heights there are, however many shapes that is. Okay, so that's what I'm really going to be looking at. That's our formula we're going to be looking at here. So it's exactly the same as the rectangular prism formula we looked at a minute ago, or the other day. Not the length, width, height, but the area of the base, big BH, and big B, like it says, is the area of the base. Okay, so let's work our way up this idea. So a triangular prism, it means its bases are triangles. That's how it's named. And prism just means its sides are rectangles. So if we find the area of our base, we have to continue, okay, how to find area of base. So big B would be equal to 1/2 of little b times h. And that's the difference between big B and h. And height's going to be this idea perpendicular to the base. So if we're taking a look at this shape, I'm going to switch my colors. That one doesn't really work great. And do big B is going to be equal to 1/2 of 8 times 10. So this is our hypotenuse. It's the longest edge of the shape. It's adjacent to the right angle in this case, and adjacent to the largest angle is really where it is. It's where you always find the hypotenuse. But that's a conversation for another year. So this math comes out to be big B is equal to 40. So if we put it into our formula, volume equals 40 times 13. And again, love my calculator because this makes it so much easier. 40 times 13 gives me the answer of my volume. In this case is 520 meters cubed. All right, go ahead and find me the volume of this shape. Pause the video if you need to, and then start it again when you're ready. All right, so let's take a look at this last one. So again, find big B first. 1/2 of 7 times 6. So 42, half of 42, big B is 21 centimeters squared. So its volume is equal to 21 times 4. That makes our answer 84 centimeters cubed. That's our shape we're looking at there, or volume we're looking here. So we can figure that same information out with real-time information. So finding the large skateboard ramp is shown below. Find the volume of how much space this takes up to store in, say, a garage or wherever else. So again, it's that same big BH, where I've got to find big B first, which is 1/2 of base times height, and the base will always be the triangle, okay? Since it's made up, if you want to draw it as a net, just to kind of show you what it would look like if I split this up, I'd have three rectangles, maybe not necessarily identical. This is always our base. Okay, and we only have one of those, since they're identical, we're going to do 1/2 of 7 times 10 times 10, which gives me a big B of 35. So my volume is going to be volume equals 35 times 4, which shows my volume is 140 cubic feet. All right, it's your turn to give this next one a try. Find me the height. Now, actually, that's not. We'll move from height. We'll take a look at this in a second. Let's take a break. Let's not find this one yet. Let's do the math on this and work our way through it. So if we work our problem through, we've got our same idea. Now we're working backwards with our formula of V equals big BH. Okay? So we need to have two of these three to figure it out. We have volume is 12. We have the information we need for big B right here. So we can kind of do that in our head. 1 times 1/2 of, so big B we're going to figure out as 1/2 of 1 times 0.3. So half of 0.3 is 0.15. Okay, So 0.5 times 0.3, I think I typed that wrong. 0.5 times 0.3 gives 0.015, so it's 0.15 times h. So we'll divide both sides by 0.15 hundredths. And we get a width. Our height of this is 80 centimeters. So while that doesn't seem like, that's not a very big amount. That's less than a meter. That's less than a whole yard. So our height is going to be 80 centimeters. To have a volume of 12 cubic centimeters, that's what we need to do. All right, it's your turn to find the volume of this shape. How much space is inside this camping tent? So we've got our formula, volume equals big BH. First we start out by finding B, which is 1/2 of 3 times 4, which big B is 6 in this case. So we'll put in our formula, volume equals 6 times 7. Our volume is 42 cubic centimeters, or cubic feet, I'm sorry, not centimeters. All right, it's your turn to find the missing dimension. Let's say this one has an area of 594 cubic feet. There's my area. I changed this per class, so you'll see if you might have different pieces for your notes if you're in class. So work my way through and find me the missing dimension that I need. You're right, volume would be 594 equals big B, H. Well, let's think about what I do have. I have all my formulas. Do I have big B and H? I have little b. I don't have little b. So I've got to work my way through it to figure out how this works. So I've got 594 equals big B, 11 times big B, that's my height. So I can work this way through. So 594 divided by 11 is 54. So I've got big B is equal to 54. Now I can work my way backwards. Big B is equal to 54 is equal to 1/2 of B times 9. So I can work my way backwards, kind of like we were doing in our two-dimensional unit. 1/2 and 9 is 4.5, so 5 4/10. Sorry. 54 is equal to 4 5/10 B, and I divide that by 4.5. Can't type it right. I get a base of 12 feet. It's a pretty large space. Okay? All right. Last little one to take a look at. And I want you guys to see, let's see. Actually, we'll have one more after this. So another way to think is the same idea. Look, Dwayne brought a cheese wedge for his March Madness party. The cheese wedge has the dimensions shown. The volume of that cheese is 54 cubic inches. What's the height of the cheese wedge? Now I can work my way backwards. I've got the information I need for big B. So I've got 54. I've got big B is 6. Equals 6 times h. Divide both sides by 6. H is equal to 9 inches of cheese. That's a lot of cheese. All right. Go ahead and figure this one out for me. All right. So you've already figured out you've got 768 is equal to big B times 16, because you don't have the information for little h here, our little height right there, so I can't do that one. So I've got to work backwards. So 768 divided by 16, that's our first step. So I get big B is equal to 48, and then from here, if I know big B is 48, it's also equal to 1/2 of base, which in this case is 12, times the height, little h. So 1/2 of 12 is 6, so 48 is equal to 6h. Divide both sides by 6. The height of this shape is 8 feet. All right. So we've got a good handle on all of these. The last little thing I want you guys to do, and this is again all on your own, find the volume of the triangular prism with the base length of 7, the base height of 10, and the prism height of 15 yards. All right, last little thing, let's figure this out. So volume equals big BH, where big B is going to be equal to 1/2 of 10 times 7. Half of 10 times 7 is 35, so big B is 35. So volume equals 35 times 15. So our volume is 525 cubic yards. All right, you're all set for your homework. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help. Have a great day.